results are in. Donald Trump will once again be president of the United States. SBU-TV gives you the facts. Peanut the Squirrel's euthanasia leads to bomb threats across New York State. Cal Reddington brings you the details. We spoke to students about their expectation for the season after a lower than expected attendance to start the year.
Friday, partly cloudy skies, temperatures in the mid-50s.
A cool fall weekend ahead. WKBW Chief Meteorologist will bring you the weekend weather. SBU-TV starts now.
Good morning and welcome to SBU-TV. I'm Andrew Hale.
And I'm Riley Bell. Happy Friday, everyone. Let's get right into the show.
A recent threat caused a large concern at a building near campus. SBU-TV's Cal Reddington looked into the story.
Earlier this week, you may have received a notification to stay away from a building off campus. Today we're here at the DEC in Allegany. I'm Cal Reddington from SBU-TV, and here's the story. On Monday, the DEC received 10 bomb threats, including the building near campus. These threats were an overreaction to the recent confiscation of Peanut the Squirrel, a social media sensation with hundreds of thousands of Instagram followers. Peanut was seized from a home in New York following reports of unsafe wildlife housing and potential rabies exposure. A raccoon was also taken, and both animals were later euthanized. The bomb threats were linked to public outrage over Peanut the Squirrel's seizure, and in response, New York State Police have conducted thorough canine sweeps of the affected buildings. Fortunately, no explosives were found, and the threats were deemed non-credible. The building is located off the Allegany River Trail on the west side of campus. It's owned by St. Bonaventure, but leased to the DEC. From SBU-TV, I'm Cal Reddington.
If any more threats are made, the same alert system will be used, and if you see something, say something.
Donald Trump will serve as the 47th President of the United States. Our Anthony De Silva brings you the facts about the election.
The AP named Donald Trump the president-elect early Wednesday morning. Donald Trump beat out Vice President Kamala Harris by securing the 270 votes needed to win the election. President-elect Trump currently has 301 electoral votes, with Arizona still not being called, but the state is currently leaning in favor of Trump. One of the biggest factors in Trump winning the presidency was Vice President Harris's inability to win any of the all-important swing states. According to CNBC, the election came down to the economy and the Trump campaign doing a better job at establishing a clearer plan than the Harris campaign.
The major mistake that the Harris campaign had made was not articulating a specific economic advancement plan and just saying we're going to have an opportunity economy without a lot of detail in the face of data that showed the opposite to many Americans was really missing the mark.
In addition to Trump winning the election, the Senate will be under Republican control, and the House is projected to have the same result. From SBU-TV, I'm Anthony De Silva.
Donald Trump has become the second president in history to win non-consecutive terms, with the only other being Grover Cleveland.
Coming up, we talk to students about the basketball season after lower than expected fan turnouts.
And let's take a live look of downtown Olean from Eads Wallpaper. The time is 10:03 and the sun is starting to shine. We will be right back.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago, in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back to SBU-TV. The Bonnies had their first game of the year earlier this week at home in a win against Cal State Northridge. SBU-TV's Lane Hott talked to some students after the exhibition about the season ahead.
The St. Bonaventure men's basketball team played their first regular season game of the year earlier this week in the Riley Center. In a 70-56 win over Cal State Northridge, the Bonnies got the year off to a great start. After an exhibition game, some fans may have considered underwhelming, especially from the attendance side, where you could see an attendance number 423 less than last year's. This raised questions about the excitement level for this season. I talked to freshmen Kevin Renner and Patrick Flaherty about their excitement for this year's team after the exhibition game.
I'm so excited, with it being my first year as a freshman. This is like a big new experience for me, and I'm just like really excited to see how the season plays out.
Oh, super excited, you know. I love live sports in general, any sport. You can't beat it, so over the moon.
After hearing from some underclassmen, I talked to senior Evan Carocchio about why students should stay engaged for the remainder of the season.
Every game is going to be more and more competitive. The togetherness is going to be there every game. Every game is fun. It's just a great atmosphere to come watch college basketball, and Bonnie's basketball is basketball capital of the world in my opinion.
From SBU-TV, I'm Lane Hott.
St. Bonaventure has their next home game next Saturday, November 16th at 4 p.m. against Lemoyne.
St. Bonaventure University's student ticket system has become essential for basketball games. Sydney Labieski talked with ticket office employees as to why students had trouble with the previous ticket system and now the current one. Let's take a look.
St. Bonaventure's ticketing system makes event access easier for students, but email entry errors are still causing some challenges. Implemented 2 years ago, the system has drawn the attention of universities nationwide, with even major schools like Stanford adapting it for their own campus use. The initial version of the system allowed students to pick their own seats, but confusion and inefficiencies prompted a switch. Now, students only need to enter their email and select a yes or no option to claim a ticket. The change was intended to make the process as straightforward as possible, but issues still occur.
And to find out how to claim your student tickets, go to our socials on Instagram, Facebook, and our new TikTok at SBU.TV.
Coming up, we take a look at how the transition to standard time can impact us.
And let's take another live look at downtown Olean from Eads Wallpaper. The time is 10:07. We'll see you right after the break.
The challenges our planet's animals are facing sometimes feel a bit heavy.
The animals haven't eaten in a day, 2 days, they haven't drank anything, they're cold, they're dehydrated.
But remember, there's good happening right now. At home.
All right, we were able to get into your unit and we have all 4 of your cats. So,
okay. And around the world for any animal, any disaster. Search ifa.org/disaster ready.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me.
That was perfect.
But I heard every word.
And it's a little chilly this morning, but let's take a look at your weekend weather with WKBW Chief Meteorologist Aaron Mentkowski.
Hey everyone, I'm Chief Meteorologist Aaron Mentkowski with your SBU-TV weekend planner. Friday, partly cloudy skies, temperatures in the mid-50s. A little cooler on Saturday with sunshine, highs in the low 50s. Be ready for some wet weather on Sunday. We're in the mid-50s with rain likely.
At 2 a.m. on the first Sunday of every November, citizens in the United States set their clocks back 1 hour in observance of the start of Standard Time. But how does the transition from daylight saving time to Standard Time affect us? Let's take a look.
In just 2 hours at 5 p.m., the sun will begin to set in the west, just behind me, an hour earlier than it would have less than a week ago. But how does this hour difference actually affect our bodies? The change from daylight saving time to standard time affects the body's circadian rhythm, which is our 24-hour internal clock that balances cycles of alertness and sleepiness by responding to light changes in our environment. During standard time, our internal clocks are typically more in sync with the rotation of the Earth, seasonal changes, and the sun clock, leading to better sleep quality, according to Northwestern University. And during months of daylight saving time, we are exposed to less morning light and more evening light, However, this leads to poor morning alertness and increased tiredness at night, according to Northwestern.
Sleep is obviously important, and according to St. Bonaventure Psychology Department Chair Dr. Robin Valeri, sleep is especially important for growth and development, particularly in infants through young adults. Sleep is also important for memory consolidation, said Valeri. However, while some students say they actually don't feel the effects of standard time, they also don't see a point in switching back and forth between the two times.
I feel about the same. I just think at this point, daylight savings time is kind of annoying. We don't really need it.
With daylight saving time originally being created to save energy during wartime, students say they no longer see a point of keeping it around today.
I think daylight savings time is just kind of useless now with today's technology, because we had it was implemented during World War I to save energy during wartime production, but with technology and stuff like that, and there aren't any more huge major global conflicts. Like, the whole world isn't at war at the moment, like, doesn't really make sense to have it.
For SBU-TV, I'm Andrew Hale.
The U.S. will return back to daylight saving time on Sunday, March 9th, 2025.
And coming up, we hear from a fellow Bonnie about his path to choosing St. Bonaventure hockey.
And let's take a live look of downtown Olean from Eads Wallpaper. The time is 10:11. It's currently about 51 degrees out. We'll be right back after this.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Bonaventure Sports Insiders Aiden Calkins spoke with Bona's goalie Rory Cuppy Fitzpatrick about his time with the team. He also spoke to his father, who used to play in the NHL for the Buffalo Sabres.
Rory Cuppy Fitzpatrick is a goalie for St. Bonaventure's Division I hockey team. Fitzpatrick had a .966 save percentage in 5 games last year, getting the name Cuppy from his mother by calling him cute as a cupcake, which then evolved into Cuppy. The sophomore goalie gained his itch to play hockey from watching his dad play professionally at a young age.
My dad play when I was younger, and being able to see the game, being at the rink so often, I just fell in love with it very quickly.
Fitzpatrick's dad, also named Rory, played in the NHL and AHL as a defenseman from 1995 to 2010. Fitzpatrick notably played for the Buffalo Sabres and Vancouver Canucks.
Playing professionally in the NHL was a dream come true. Obviously, it's something you want to do as a child and as a kid, and everybody does. And to have that opportunity is special, and I enjoyed every minute of it.
Cuppy's brother, Brady, played D1 hockey at St. Bonaventure and was a captain. Cuppy chose St. Bonaventure through seeing the brotherhood of the hockey team and how great the university was as a whole after his brother attended here.
I chose Bonnie's because my brother went here, and I just saw the hockey boys, such a family. I can't name one guy who I don't love on the team.
Rory details the process on how Cuppy came to St. Bonaventure.
I think Cuppy, saw how much Brady enjoyed Bonaventure. Cuppy's a very team-oriented person, so I think the idea of being on a team down there, the camaraderie that St. Bonaventure hockey has, was a huge draw for Cuppy. And
Cuppy drew his inspiration to be a goalie from NHL Hall of Fame goalie and teammate of his dad's Roberto Luongo after growing up around him and watching him play up close and personal.
When my dad played for Vancouver, Roberto Luongo was my number one guy. I remember always talking to him. He was such a beauty, but definitely I was always a goalie.
The hockey team will travel to play Binghamton and Cornell this weekend.
And once again, this has been SBU-TV. I'm Andrew Hale.
And I'm Riley Bell. But before we leave you today, we wanted to take a moment to honor our veterans. Enjoy this montage from our Mason Provenzano, and most importantly, have a safe and amazing weekend, everyone.